So when you go into a podcast with Drake, which was the first of like that level thing.
Yeah.
Did you have that intention in mind?
I had no intention in my head. And during it, I remember thinking so many times, like, this is so bad. I'm not being funny. I'm not like, this is just not. I remember just like thinking that during it. Like, this is not what you can see me thinking that. I
believe, and maybe I'm crazy or maybe everybody else thinks they could do it. I believe I have some superpowers. And one of them, your intention, I believe, is very similar to mine, that our comedy comes from a very defensive place. And if I'm going to feel uncomfortable, I'm going to control that uncomfort and I'm going to make other people feel that way. And that's going to then give me confidence in that uncomfort. And then you find your skill in there. And with that, I could see when people are present and then when they're not. And when they're not present in awkwardness, they're uncomfortable because you're in your head. And I saw it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I think that those moments are the moments to be able to make jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think Drake had a good time?
Yeah. I think I actually like watching it over. It's just funny because I feel like I was in my head a lot of it. But watching it over, I was like, oh no, that was actually like, I actually am really like proud of the episode. And I was like, oh, that actually turned out really well. And it's like, I actually like laughed at certain things in it and I thought it was pretty funny. But during it, I was like, oh my God, it was actually just really awkward.
Right.
And I think he felt that during it. I felt that during it. It was a very
There were a couple of sip takes that were real downbeats, I felt like.
Where? Like which one?
Right before he gave it to you to hold on to and you said, I'm not a cup holder.
Oh yeah. I don't even know how I thought of that, but people liked that part.
Would you call that comedy or humor?
What's the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
So it wasn't
first base. So when you left the Drake interview, were you like, ugh.
Yeah.
Do you think I can't post this?
Oh, for sure. I was like, I was like, dude, you had such a moment. Like you could have had something that would have like changed your life and you ruined it. And then I watched, like, once he sent it to me, I was like, oh God, that was like Drake.
Oh, it was his camera people?
Yeah.
So he obviously wanted to look over it before he sent it to you? Right.
Well, but he sent me the uncut version, but he trusted that I wouldn't post it. And I watched it over and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, there's actually so many like good moments in this. And it's like, I was like, this is going viral for sure. Like, this is like, there's good moments because I thought they were actually funny. I was worried that I'd watch it over and be like, that's not funny at all. Because I've done that. Like, I've done ones that I've taken down where I watched it over and I was like, there's nothing even funny in this. Like, it's not, what are you even doing? But his episode was like, I feel like besides the funny Marco and yours and funny Marco, which is why I left those up, were like the first ones that I feel like I saw and I was like, oh, I actually can see the humor in this.
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously, like I said, still trying to find the humor in it.
I loved our episode.
I did too. I've watched it a few. So like that one, the funny Marco one and the Drake one, and like now all of them are ones that actually, now Smart. I don't even have time anymore to do it.
You to say, and everybody, and all of them.
All of the ones. Yeah. No, but like were ones that I actually could, because I've had ones in the past that were like long and just like, I don't know, it just didn't. I'm starting to fully like ours though. I remember watching a few times and I was like, oh, that's like, I liked the discomfort. I liked the awkwardness. I liked it and I could watch it and I liked it.
I have some more questions about the feeling of the Drake episode, but I want to connect for a second. I maybe because I've been doing it a little bit longer or whatever, I don't really get nervous doing this stuff. I mean, kind of, but I don't have much experience like, oh no. But I did when I had Bill Burr on. And do you know Bill Burr?
No.
Okay. You're not in the stand-up comedy world, but he is one of the kings of stand-up. He's many people's favorite comedian today. I was so nervous when he came on. And like we talked about it and blah, blah, blah. And I was able to be present a lot. And then sometimes I was like not. And when it was done, I was so embarrassed. And I called my mom and my buddy John on this so I could have it like the opening. So I could like, before people come in, they know like I'm so nervous. And I told my editor that, shout out to John Michael, that I don't know if we could post this. And then I watched it and I fucking loved it. So my question is, after having that experience with Drake, next time you feel that, do you think you'll be able to be like, I've been here before, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that something to grow from that?
Yeah, I think that I feel now I've noticed that every time I do feel that, it does end up translating to it actually did work. Like because it's like, it is an awkward podcast, right? Like so it genuinely does get awkward and it does get uncomfortable. And I kind of now in my head just tell myself like, that's okay. This is like, it's gonna be okay. Like you're gonna watch this over and it's gonna be good. And it's so far worked every time that like I watch it over and I look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, like it actually it worked well.
As you keep doing this, that awkward and uncomfortable thing is going to become more of a tone of the product and less an actual emotion in your body because you're going to be so used to it. Do you have a take on like how much you're using that awkwardness to be believable? And once you become more confident in that, do you feel you'll be able to rely on that the same?
I don't know. I think I will because I definitely see it becoming less and less. I think it gets better the less uncomfortable and awkward I become because it's like I'm easier, like I'm better at landing like the jokes that I want to tell, and I'm better at like I don't know, I like did an episode just a few days ago and I felt like it was really easy and I felt less awkward and uncomfortable. And even the one with Mark Cuban, I felt like less awkward and uncomfortable in.
But do you still want to have awkward and uncomfortable?
I don't know. I like it, but like
I want it to be,
well, no, I want it to be like, it seems more, I don't know.
Go, go.